in the wake of the New Zealand terror attacks, and a few media outlets have reached out to me to ask a few questions such as, why was it so hard for social networks to take these videos down? Why did so many people reshare the videos? And what does it mean about us as a society and our relationship with social media? And how can we stop the spread of these hateful messages in the future? Before we can talk about a solution, we actually need to understand how all of this works, how technology has facilitated this, and how our own use of social media can perpetuate these messages even when we don't realize that we're contributing to it. That live streaming of the shooting was not just a recording of a shooting. It was an act of terror in itself. It meant to strike more fear. It meant to spread hatred. The live feed set a fire, and the people who reshared it, downloaded it, and shared it again, poured fuel on that fire, and it became a wildfire. And many of us, without even realizing it, fanned that fire by searching for the video. Now let me explain. We talk a lot about social networks algorithms. These algorithms are designed to reward content that people want to see. They push content to the top of your feeds or as trending content on YouTube and so on. These algorithms don't just reward content based on how much it's being shared or liked. They also reward content based on how much people are searching for it. And that's where all of us participating in fanning that fire. Now, why did so many people watch it, reshare it, search for it? An MIT study published in March of 2018 gives us some clues. They looked at over 125,000 stories, tweeted by over 3 million people, over 4.5 million times. And they looked to see how fake news propagates compared to factual news. What they found was that misinformation had a 70% higher chance to be retweeted than facts. And it took truth 6 times as long to reach 1,500 people than falsehoods. So why were people sharing misinformation more than facts? They discovered that it was novelty. Misinformation just had that novelty factor to it. So that's what could be happening here with this video as well. After all, this is the first large-scale cyber terror attack we have seen. Many also probably downloaded and uploaded the video to YouTube and so on for personal gain. Whether that gain was an ego boost, or those dopamine hits you get every time you see a like and a share on your post, or actual financial gain by making ads dollars off of the ads that were running before or during or over these videos on YouTube. Why did it take social networks so long to take down the video? Well, you see, we're under the impression that social networks, because they talk about machine learning and artificial intelligence technology, already have that fully evolved technology to solve this problem, to catch these videos right away or even at upload. But in fact, that technology is about 10 years away. There is no foolproof way for this technology to catch these videos for many reasons. It's very hard to distinguish in a video if that video is a recording of a video game that involves shooting, or an actual act of violence, or a news piece, or a demo of a gun. So we're putting a lot of responsibility on social networks to police what's actually individual human behavior. And that's not realistic. That same MIT study that I mentioned earlier suggested that ultimately it is humans who are responsible for spreading both false news as well as real news, not machines. And that the real solution there will involve a combination of technology as well as behavioral intervention. Think about it like this. To drive a car, you need to get a driver's license. When you walk down the street, you don't just spew hatred at people, you may get clubbed in the face. However, on social media, we don't have any mechanisms to control our worst behaviors. We feel safe behind that screen. We think that our actions could be anonymous, although they are not. And there is, as I always say, there's no privacy on social media. So ultimately, it's up to us to check our own behavior. If we have citizen journalism, we also need to have citizen accountability. So until we're going to have the equivalent of a driver's license for online live streaming, it's going to be up to each one of us to remind ourselves and those around us that there are consequences to our actions online. Even something simple like searching for a terrorist could help spread that wildfire. I want to encourage you to set up your own code of conduct. What are some rules that you're gonna go by? If something like this happens again, I'm not gonna search for it. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm gonna control my curiosity. I'm not gonna spread rumors. If you're a business and you run advertising on social media, I recommend you do a blackout when there's periods of national mourning. I think it's normal to be curious about this and to wonder why, but there's got to be some limits to how we express our curiosity online. To put out this fire, we need to starve it. We need to take away its oxygen. We need to not add fuel to the fire. And that is totally within our control. That is not something that technology can necessarily do for us. I'm not proposing not being on social media. I think it's impossible at this point in our history. But I am proposing that we figure out ways to be more responsible, to act more responsibly when we are online. So what I want to encourage each one of you is to take some time this week and really write down, what is my code of conduct? What are some of the things that I'm going to stop doing when I'm on social media? And what are some of the things that I will do more so that I promote goodness and kindness and love instead of hatred and negativity? I don't know, it's hard. It's hard to decide if this video is going to do more good than feeling that same fire or fanning that same fire that I was talking about. But I feel strongly that this message of using social media responsibly is really important.